Hi friends, Adam Thompson coming to you as always from Focal Point, Minnesota's world headquarters in lovely, sunny, hot, humid, summer-like Plymouth, Minnesota. It is Friday afternoon. It is lovely. It's going to be a hot weekend. Hope you're having a great week. Hope you are wrapping things up and getting ready for a great weekend. Every Thursday afternoon, I facilitate a group coaching success lab session with a group of professionals in the financial industry. We've got some insurance people, we've got some financial advisors, we've got some benefits people. We talk through things. We talk through kind of what's going on in the business, what's working, what's not. We solve problems. One of the things that came up just yesterday on the call from one of the members who happens to be the second generation in a family-owned financial services business is he's struggling with kind of onboarding his little brother as well as his father on some new products, some services that he's been offering, but those two have not. And he's been struggling with how to get them trained up, get them up to speed on it, because it takes time, right? It's a lot of work to do that. There's a lot of process in there, and his concern is that it would just be faster for him to do it himself. And that's what he's been doing, is simply just taking on the responsibility himself and doing all that work on his own, which is maybe pulling some energy and some bandwidth away from some of the things that he could be focusing on if they're up to speed. He is younger, does not have kids, and the few of us in the group that do have kids kind of equated it to teaching your kid to tie his shoes, right? Teaching your 5-year-old, your 6-year-old to tie their shoes on the way out the door. And we all know what a pain that is, right? Trying to watch them do the rabbit around the hole and it goes in the hole. And quite frankly, I can tie my shoes, but I have a real hard time explaining it. And we know how much faster it is to simply take the 8 seconds and tie the kid's shoes so we can get out the door, so we can get to baseball or soccer or dinner or school or whatever it might be. But as parents, eventually you realize after you've tied their shoes for the 100th time that if I take a few minutes, if I take some time and I set some time aside, frankly, to teach them to tie their shoes, eventually they're going to learn. And yes, does it take me 12 seconds? Absolutely. But if I can save that 12 seconds and get out the door and tell them to tie their shoes, that eventually is going to save me time. It's going to make my life easier in the long run to take that sacrifice and take that time in the short run. So what we talked about was this does not need to be a big ongoing thing. It's something that's going to take a while to learn. So set aside some time, set aside some small time to teach that. And the agreement, what we kind of decided, and what we decided as a group that we all could do, is set aside 1 hour a week for training, for planning, for development. For one of the members, it's going to be to develop content, right? To plan his business, to plan out the next month, the next 3 months, the next big idea, and start working on that. A 40-hour work week, 1 hour is 2.5% of their time. Of our time, of your time. And the agreement was that, look, 1 hour, 2.5% of the work week dedicated to the big things, the training, the planning, the visioning, the trying to think about what might move your business ahead right now, but also into the long term, it is valuable. And so the agreement was find that time. Not just set it aside, but find it and schedule it and hold yourself to it. I think we can all do that. I think we all do better when we spend a little time, a little entrepreneurial time on ourselves, on our businesses, on our careers, on our professions, to think, to plan, to vision, to ideate, to train, to do the things that we don't give ourselves time to do. So what would that look like in your business, in your profession, in your career? When would that time be? Is it Friday afternoon? Is it Monday morning? Is it Tuesday at 3:15? Find that time, set it aside. If you are having trouble thinking about how to set that time aside, or if you're having trouble thinking about what to do with that time, that's where maybe I could be of value, right? That's where maybe I can provide some guidance. I would love to have that conversation. If you know you need to take the time, but you're not quite sure how to find it or what to do with it, let's have a conversation. Send me a text, 612-965-2971. Email me, athompson@focalpointcoaching.com, or simply message this below, right? Send me a message, reach out to me, make a comment below, and let's have a conversation. If you know someone else who needs to use that time, maybe share this video with them, maybe tag them in the comments below. But let's make that a priority. Let's have that conversation. Let's try to move ourselves and our businesses and our careers forward by allowing ourselves and giving ourselves the gift of time to plan. Like I said, it's going to be hot, it's going to be humid, it's going to be a great weekend for the boat or the baseball or the softball or being outside or hanging out in the air conditioning and watching Hamilton on Disney Plus for the 14th time. Whatever you're doing, make sure you find that time to spend with your people and the ones you love. Have a great weekend. Come back next week refreshed and recharged, and I'll talk to you soon.